This guard is dressed exactly the same as the other guard. This guard is dressed exactly the same as the other guard. Kirk thinks there's something familiar about the item on the pedestal, but can't remember why. Scotty hopes nothing was damaged when the museum moved the other exhibits out of this room for the ceremony. Chekhov wonders if the artifact on the pedestal was of Russian origin. This case contains an astronomical model of the Lockean system. This case contains an astronomical model of the Lockean system. A very old space probe rests on a pedestal in a roped-off area. It shows considerable wear.
That probe looks like it's seen better days.
I bet I could make that wee probe function given a little time, Captain.
I suspect the Soransi wants it just the way it is. But if the opportunity comes up, we can ask if they want you to repair it.
This diplomatic stuff is quite dull, Captain. Is it always like this?
Unfortunately, Mr. Chekhov, yes.
I think I'll stick to starships, Captain.
You do that, Ensign.
We're just guards, sir. We don't know anything. We wouldn't lie to you.
I'm sorry, this door is for museum personnel only. Have a nice day.
Captain Kirk and party, please report to the curator's office, please. Captain Kirk and party, please report to the curator's office.
I hope you enjoyed your tour, gentlemen. Please join me. Would you mind if the first toast with the Kazakhstanian was to the Enterprise?
Curator, why isn't that Brezhnev cognac?
For heaven's sakes, Chekhov, don't interrupt a man on the verge of toasting the best ship in the fleet with the finest cognac on this side of the galaxy.
My apologies.
Questions later, then. The toast. Here's to the Starship Enterprise. What could this be?
A conspiracy, if you ask me, Captain.
Let me pull this up on screen. They've destroyed my camera. Well, let's see how they deal with our other security systems.
An old suit of armor, but with a strong framework added inside to avoid any accidents. It's holding a large metal lance in its right gauntlet. An old suit of armor, but with a strong frame. An enormous bottle of cognac. The plaque below reads, "This Jeroboam of Kazakhstanian cognac is from the first blending and 40-year aging on Nova Atar." The curator's desk. Neat. Organized. This is the screen where the curator monitors the rest of the museum. A monitoring and control station for museum security. Ignoring the slight ozone odor, the curator looks peacefully asleep. Captain Kirk, wherever he goes, trouble seems to be waiting. The chief engineer was looking forward to an idyllic day, sipping cognac and looking at old machinery. Chekhov is determined to find out who would harm such a fine gentleman with ties to the old country, then enjoy the rest of his shore leave. A nearly full decanter of cognac. A small, tantalizing goblet of cognac waiting for the warm touch of Mr. Scott's hand to gently release its vapors. Finely crafted silver serving tray.
Wish Bones were here. He's out, but I can't tell you how bad it is. Look around, gentlemen. Let's see if we can find something to solve this little mystery.
I do not know what we should do next, Captain. Maybe I can wring some information out of that security panel.
This is not quite the shore leave I expected, Captain.
Not much of a trap, really. Fixed it up with a wee change of wiring.
The large lance shows somewhere. The decanter is nearly full. This is a very expensive silver tray.
I feel rather bad about this, Captain.
I do too, Scotty, but it's always surprising what you need in an emergency.
No effect. No effect.
I wonder what this is for.
The note on the paper reads, Bresnia, VVSOP 2123.
Security lockdown in effect. Please enter release code. Security lock deactivated.
This is helpful. There's a button under the edge of the desk when the curator wants to open the door.
I've looked this beastie over, and the only things we might be able to use are the capacitors. I've taken them out. They'll soak up a wee bit of power before releasing it.
Lights cascade continually above the surface of this device. Plaques on each side read, the Vandecourt Aurora Generator. An old-style phaser cannon capacitor. It is currently uncharged. An old-style phaser cannon capacitor. It is currently uncharged.
The capacitor should charge very quickly. The capacitor should charge very quickly. Captain, I was able to recover some heat-resistant wiring and a cable.
Security lockdown is in effect. Please enter access code. Security lock deactivated.
This was a sensor diagram from the Remembrance, an early Terran interstellar craft. Low and sleek, this space vehicle has a Spartan look, written on the plaque. This is the escape pod in which the famous smuggler known as the Black McKiernan was captured. Unable to outrun his pursuers, McKiernan tried to escape in the pod as he blew up his ship, hoping the authorities would think he had perished. The pod had been specially constructed of expensive metalloceramic alloys to withstand such an escape tactic. Unfortunately for McKiernan, the pursuit included a trailing scout ship looking for a backtracking maneuver, and when the smiling smuggler opened the hatch thinking he'd made planetfall, he was treated to the inside view of a Federation cruiser's shuttle bay. The plaque reads, "A failed experiment in Habis robotics. The Green Mark VI was one of those ideas where the original concept might have been sound, but the follow-ups were too much. Planned as a simple cargo handler, attempts were made at increasing its function and therefore its flexibility. Unfortunately, proposed missions such as security were well beyond its recognition systems and processors. One small piece of lasting notoriety was that the Mark VI was one of the first Habis robotic uses of room temperature superconducting wiring. While the wiring concept went forward, little else of this robot did." This prop helps support the docking ring. The surface of the old docking ring is pitted from micrometeorite strikes, and there are several large welds running completely around it. Many magnetic coupling clamps are uniformly spaced around the ring. The plaque reads, "This docking ring was recovered in pieces from the port facilities at Genevieve 9, where it was broken when a freighter, the Hardy, accidentally turned on its thrusters just before mooring was completed." No effect.
I was able to pull off some of the magnetic clamps. I'm sure we will find a use for them. I don't think the schematics show the way to the other room through here. Is there something you know that we don't, Captain?
No shortcuts here, it seems. We better get moving.
I don't see anything here that can help us, Captain.